So if we consider Harry Potter to be like Louis Vuitton, then this movie is like Kmart. So The School for Good and Evil is a brand new Netflix fantasy film that just got released today across the world. It's a film adaptation of a book series written by a lady whose name I cannot pronounce, so I'm not even gonna try. I'll just put her name right here for you and you can read it. So the story follows two best friends, Sophie and Agatha. Sophie dreams of becoming a princess, and Agatha is a little bit more of an emo. So they both have these different sort of aesthetics. Sophie is very like clean colors, blonde hair, very typical sort of fantasy princess type look. And then Agatha is this sort of like big bushy black hair and she wears darker colors. So she's more likely to be similar to a witch type, like a classic fantasy witch. Now, they both get somehow teleported to this place called the School for Good and Evil, and it's a place where the children of heroes and villains across all fantasy go to school to essentially learn the ways of good and evil and then kind of balance out each other, if that makes any sense. So for example, like Captain Hook's son is on the evil school, and then King Arthur's son is on the good side, like he's in the good school. Anyway, the two girls get whisked off to there. Sophie ends up on the evil side, and then Agatha ends up on the good side. So it goes for this, fish out of water dynamic for both girls. And a lot of this film, you can kind of tell where it's going. It's very on the nose with its twists and its turns. The action is fine, I guess, and the CG is okay for a Netflix film. Obviously, this movie had a relatively big budget because it's a fantasy film and it's aimed at a teenage audience who have read the book and who love the characters. The CG at times is pretty good. I mean, there's times when it's really bad. There's a moment where I was actually watching it and it was the same CG character. At the start of seeing this CG character, which is a big talking wolf, I was like, that CG is not too bad, actually. And then he started talking, and the animation for it was literally just up, down, up, down, up, down, and then the sound would come out of his mouth. So I was like, okay, it started off all right, and as soon as he started talking, no, it's no good at all. Now, there's no surprises in this film. It's not going to stick with you in the way that, say, like Harry Potter did, like an absolute amazing fantasy film that, you know, makes kids likable. In this movie, there's really no characters that are likable. You don't really gravitate towards anybody. Now, as an adult, you're not supposed to, but that was the beauty of Harry Potter, was even adults can relate with the kids. In this film, I think you really have to be between the ages of 8 and 12 to have any sort of connection to these characters at all. I don't think even 14 to 16-year-olds who are the ones reading the books are going to be able to connect with these characters. They're very, very childlike to the point where it just doesn't become relatable. I thought some of the adults in the film were pretty good. I mean, a lot of them are phoning it in. Like, you have some big actors in here like Lawrence Fishburne, Charlize Theron, Kerry Washington, and all of them do a fine job, but you can tell that they're just hamming it up for the sake of hamming it up. Like, they're getting a nice big paycheck, so obviously they're just gonna take the piss. They're wearing these goofy outfits. They're just gonna fucking try and have some fun while they're on set, making this movie that they're contractually obligated to because they signed a deal with Netflix to do X amount of movies for X amount of dollars. So, unfortunately, I didn't really love The School for Good and Evil. I didn't hate it. I've definitely seen better things. I've definitely seen worse things. But I think this one was a little bit of a miss. That's why I'm going to give The School for Good and Evil a 4.5 out of 10. So tell me, guys, have you watched The School for Good and Evil? If you have, comment down below. Let me know what you thought about it. Yeah, this one, unfortunately, didn't go all the way with what it was trying to do. It didn't go all the way to fantasy. It didn't go all the way to childlike. It could have been a lot darker. It could have been just a lot better. I think the writing needed a little bit of work. I think the directing probably could have done with a bit of work as well. I thought the actors were all fine, essentially, but there's not really a lot you can do with what's here. I'm sure the books are great, and I'm sure the audience of the books will probably enjoy this. This being somebody who hasn't read the books saying this, for all I know, the audience of the books might fucking hate this film and go, this is shit. It might happen. I loved Aragon as a kid, and then the movie came out, and I was like, wow, way to ruin one of my favorite books as a kid. Thanks, guys. So that was the review, guys. Hope you really enjoyed it. As always, click through to another video. We'll keep having some fun. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.